What's up, guys, and welcome back to the next episode of our Froid Let's Play. Today it's 1858 and we are in the month of December on the 15th. And so without further ado, we're going to jump straight in and see what kinds of things are on the horizon for us here in the Canadian Icelands, I guess. The ridiculously freezing cold north, as it seems. And so it looks like, oh, it's telling us about the mayor. So the mayor is kind of this greedy jerk that kind of never does anything, that basically he has to be the boss all the time. I mean, you'll see. And so we'll continue here, and it's going to do the December 15th thing. And this chapter, Chapter 11, Terrors and Hope.
Father, forgive me, for I have sinned.
I'm listening. Speak freely.
I don't know what's happening in the village, but it's as if we're all going crazy. I have dreams at night where I'm acting like a bloodthirsty animal.
Go on.
I have longings for red meat and ideas about... I'm ashamed. If only you knew how ashamed I am. Lecherous ideas. And not only with my wife, but with all the women in the village.
I know what's happening to you. It's the fault of my former servant, Josephine. She's a witch.
I always knew there was something fishy about that girl.
Say 2 Hail Marys and the Our Father. Evil lies in wait. May God bless you.
Amen.
Bravo. That was a lie worthy of a pope, my friend.
Alright, and so I don't know if that's going to be the last of the storyline. It looks like it is. Okay, so we're in our planning phase right now. And this is going to be a unique level, if I do say so myself. Let's take a look and see what we've got here, because this looks rather nasty. So it appears as though the majority of these guys are all going to different locations, actually, which is... that's actually going to be a bit of a pain. Let's take a look around. And Wave 2 is going to be what? Wave 2 is just a couple of wolves that are all going towards the house, and 5 of these guys. Yikes, so Wave 2 is pretty nasty as well. What's going on with Wave number 3 here? So Wave number 3, it's just a bunch of Mycons that are all headed towards the house. Okay, so that's not quite as bad. I mean, it's still a situation that I'm not incredibly happy with. In fact, it's going to take a bit of doing. No joke, no joke. And so what we can do with these guys here, God, I'm not really sure how to deal with this many of them that are so spread out. That's a weird situation. So we've got him coming towards the chapel. We've got the rest of them heading towards a number of locations. So let's first and foremost, 2 are going towards the house. And so they're going to go like so. That one's going towards the mill. So we only have 1 going towards the mill that we have to worry about. We've got 2 going towards the chicken farm. And then we've got a final one that's heading to the chapel. So we've got a bunch of these guys to deal with, and I'm sort of wondering if I should do it manually, because with the egg I can actually redirect the wind around, and if I can get to an advantageous position, I think if I can get to maybe like right here and I can blow the wind around, I can draw them all in. Now I don't know if that's going to work, but we can give it a shot. I don't know what weapon we have equipped at the moment, if we have something silver or if we have something magical. Okay, so we have the silver hatchet going right now. I'm actually going to say that for the course of this level, we're going to go with the champion felling axe. And for our skill list, we get to pick a new upgrade. And so let me see what's going to be more advantageous in this situation. I'm not really positive which one I want to do next. We have a couple of choices. We can get HP back as we deal damage. We can get better at our melee attacks. We can get a little bit better at shooting. We can also get our bonfires a little bit better, which is an interesting idea, although the bonfires don't really affect all the things we're going to be defending against in this level. However, we can make firewalls, which means that the will-o'-the-wisps no longer really cross the firewalls. They try to go in opposite directions. And so I think that may be a reasonable upgrade to think about right now. So I'm going to go with it, and we're going to see how this works, but being able to direct the will-o'-wisps is going to work out in our favor as far as I can tell. Additionally, how much cash do we have on hand? $5.59. So let's run off to Wolfsvale and see what there is to see in terms of what we can buy. I don't know how many alcohols we have on hand, so we'll probably want to buy a couple of those, just like we have been in all the previous playing throughs. And so we have 4. Let's go ahead and buy another one. And then I suppose, oh, we wanted to buy out all the bullets every day too, just to make sure that we have a lot of arms on hand, as opposed to legs, I guess. But we want to have all the arms we can possibly get our hands on, because arms are more useful. We also have the ability to get the Remington double musket, which is one of those things that I very much like. It actually helps you deal with your enemies very efficiently, because you can fire 2 shots in a row, and with silver bullets and things of that nature, it really helps clean up some of those stragglers. However, what we need to do is consecrate some bullets as well. So I'm going to run to the convent real fast, and once we're here, I'm going to go through and let's consecrate a couple bullets, because we don't have a lot on hand. So I think 5 should be okay for now. We just spent a lot of money, and it's strange that they're charging us to do God's work here by destroying things, but you know. Let's go to Mashtahwash now, and let's take a look at what Mishimash and Ushimash have for us here. And so he's got a Mycan Talisman, which is going to make us more threatening. He's also got a silver pipe axe, which is a lot better than the one we have on hand, and actually deals a bit more damage. It might be useful, however, I don't really want to pick that up just yet. What we're here for are a few of these silver bullets, get ourselves back up and squared away with the silver bullets. And so let's go back and start planning how we want to approach these next couple waves. Now we want to look and see what we have in common here. All of these gents are going to be closing in on our location here. Now I don't think these are going to be very difficult to deal with. And so are they all going to go the same direction? I don't think they are, unfortunately. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that there's nothing else over here, and we're going to take a firewall and we're going to block this off so that the wolves end up going in the same direction. That way, during wave 2, we can wipe them out with, well, hopefully we can get rid of as many of them as possible with singular traps. And in fact, we can kind of guarantee the process by throwing a wolf trap right here. And so they're going to come that way. Let's see if we can get one right there, because I think that's probably our best opportunity. But let's start with wave 1. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. So the main problem we're going to be up against here is this guy right here. Were it not for this guy, I think we could get a lot more done in the course of this level. Now, let's go ahead and see how this is going to work. Make sure that this is now working in our favor. And is that going to reroute him as we had planned? Excellent. Okay, so that's now going to reroute our petty little foe here. And what we would like is to just leave him running ridiculously all over the place. We want him just making a beeline for every location that he can't get to. In fact, we just want him to kind of swirl around over and over again. And that's what we're going to try and have him do. Now, if we do that, he's going to go that way. And he is just going to be a pain in my ass, I can tell already. So let's go ahead, and I guess the smallest hole we can plug is maybe that right there, or maybe up in here. What's that going to do? He's going to go around right there. Of course he is. So actually, I don't think we're actually going to be able to really effectively corral him in the way that I would like to. We may just have to position carefully and hope that the egg allows us to get everybody. With him, we can ease the situation, or we can lubricate the situation by putting in... Are there any more waves coming from over here? No. And so we don't have to worry about how we cordon this off. So there's that. And it appears as though he's going to... Yeah, we want to block the bridge, definitely, and we'll deal with that later. There we go. And so he should go around now. And I absolutely think that if I can get to right here, and I can blow around in a circle with the egg, I can get everybody except for him. And what we can do once we finish off these gents right here as rapidly as possible is maybe sprint for this guy up here and just hope that we get there in time. I mean, we have to slow him down somehow. Unfortunately, it just has to be done. And so we got to buy ourselves time in some respect. And so we'll block that off maybe. And that's going to leave him running circles to there. Maybe if I go like so. Or is he going to go down and around like that? That actually might work with our wind blowing plan. So as we're breaking wind in a circular pattern, this might actually allow him to draw close enough. I don't actually know if this plan's going to work. This is a really sketchy grouping of maps. So we'll see what we can do as this comes along. For this second wave right here, I think what my plan is going to be is honestly just to face off with these guys around the house and use a wayside cross. And so we'll put a wayside cross right here, and we'll try to be on that position when they arrive. For these three up here, one wolf should get caught up in this wolf trap. I don't like that placement, though. I'm going to try and make that a little bit wider. There we go. And so maybe we'll get him right there. And then the plan from that point forward is going to be to... Where's my bait? There's my bait. All right, so we got our bait. And the plan from there is going to be to put a bait there and a spike trap as best as possible anyways. Sometimes the positioning's a little sketchy with this stuff, and so we'll try and place the bait a little bit more accurately. And that should draw these guys all into here, which should get us a triple kill from that. Our AP's looking okay, so let's take a look at Wave 3 and figure out how that's going to go. Wave 3 looks to be predominantly Mycans. And we do have some Great Wolves up here. Grand Werewolves, which are going to be a little bit frustrating and difficult to deal with. They're probably just going to make a beeline like so. And so what we can actually do is just sort of bait and slow them down, from what I think, is we'll put one right there, one right there, one right there. We're just going to bait them as hard as we can. And then that should give us enough time to just place down to here, where we will place a, oh, I don't know, a net trap maybe? Or maybe a explosive barrel. That might work. Yeah, let's do an explosive barrel right there, and we'll see if we can get them wrapped up in that fashion. And for these Mycans down here, these are both going towards the house, and these are going to be a little bit rougher to rope up, I think. We may consider coming down here and putting a net trap, maybe? Or possibly, I think I can fight off two of them. It's three of them that I don't think I can handle. Oh, we don't have silver weapons, that's right, so we're actually going to have to slow these guys down in whatever manner that we can. We're spending a lot of money on this turn, which is very unfortunate. Maybe a second explosive barrel? That's really my only idea there, is maybe put a second explosive barrel right there, and in the greater scheme of things, possibly use a shout to draw them in and just blow up whoever's in the way. I'll try that. And so we'll see how this pans out. I don't really think this is going to work too well. I'm a little concerned about the overall plan here. Let's go to our inventory and make sure that Jack has got all the things he's going to need for the night. He's got himself some Udave, and he's got the Egg of Metshu. We've got ourselves a Blessed Champion Felling Axe and the Brown Best Musket, which is getting outdated, and I was hoping by this point we'd have a better gun, but unfortunately the game is just killing us on money. What I've noticed is playing as Jack, it costs a lot more to survive because his HP is just absurdly low. But in any case, let's start this thing off, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm not confident about this strategy. That's the bare naked truth right there. Is this strategy, I cannot promise you that this is going to work at all. This one is going to be very tentative and at best may be difficult to pull off. So let's get ourselves right here. We have a pretty strong wind, so we may be able to pull this off. God, I just don't know, you guys. I just don't know. And so as soon as they spawn, there they are. We're going to see what we can do here. And so let's see if we can wrangle everybody. We're going to have people coming around in circles here. And so there goes the Egg of Metshu. And let's see who we can corral into our little trap here. In the worst case, hey, we got all of them. Fantastic. And so let's rush this guy, because we do have a weapon that is capable of downing him, and that's exactly what we want. And I didn't give too much thought to the positioning of the wind there. That's going to cost me in the long run of this strategy. It's definitely going to cost me a bit. And so let's get this guy, since he's all by his lonesome. And down he goes. We caught a fireball there in the back, which is a little unfortunate. We're going to get him with a Taco Knight, and then we're going to fight with his friend as best as possible. And so down he goes. We dodged another fireball there. And since we got everybody, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be alright. And so let's see if we can trigger up another taco. Oh, we caught a fireball. Sometimes it can be tough to figure out how the fireballs are going to bait. The one thing you can rely on, though, is that the Taco Knight is going to make us immune to whatever they try and do. Let me get my ducks in a row here for this next bit. Okay, and so the wolves should resolve themselves, as far as I know. And I am just dreadfully in trouble because of the way I position the wind. That's gonna hurt me in the long run, believe me. I should have given more thought, more pause to the way that I put the wind. Instead, we're breaking wind to the, what looks like the east, possibly. And we need to be careful that we don't actually end up attracting the wolves too early. Okay, so we caught up the wolf just like we wanted to. The bait is being eaten now. And it looks like we got all 3 of them. So now we can come down here, and we're going to take a big risk right now. We're going to try and bait all 3 of these guys with our stink. And so we're going to get ourselves extremely effervescent at the moment. And the second they close within the range of this wayside cross, we're going to pop it. It's going to apply its damage over time to them. And then from there, I think we'll be all right. We've got enough health on hand that I don't feel like I should drink a beer just yet. I think we'll be okay. And let's see what we can do here. I don't want to use my shout because I'm going to need that for the next round. And so let's pop the wayside cross. There it is. The wayside cross is up and running. And so let's get in here, see what kind of damage we can do to as many of these as possible. There we go. And so we're too exhausted to attack, but we did manage to bulldoze several of them. And that's the important thing here. When you're dealing with the will-o'-the-wisps, you've got to get rid of them because they will dive below the ground. And once they do that, you are absolutely just completely and totally up shit creek, unfortunately. So let's take a look at our tab here. Now, nothing's coming from the right, so this positioning may work out for me in the long run. However, what we need to do is we need to displace to our explosives, and then we need to bait our enemies. So let's get over to the explosives, and as soon as we're there, we're going to try and shout and then fall back. So where's this barrel at? There it is. All right, here we go, guys. This is going to be the rough part. All right, so they should all be heading for the barrel right now. And so we'll aim, get ready, and as long as we kill one, I think we'll be okay. And so let's get them all into range. And we just blew up all of them. Fantastic. Absolutely stellar. So there's nothing better than a plan going off without hitches. In fact, I'm not even going to use the zip line. I'm so excited about how that turned out. I'm just going to run straight up here, just hoof it Canadian style, because Canadians are hardy people. They live up in an icy Northlands. I mean, I don't know how you guys do it. Is it snowy a lot of the time up there? It's got to be, at least partially. I mean, I come from a place where you never get below or above like 70 degrees because I'm right by the ocean. So really, we don't have unpleasant weather here. It's one of those things. So we don't get a whole lot of perspective. It's kind of just like having spring all the time. Oh, my stink is going to get me into trouble here. Let me see if I can reposition my smells. So we're going to fart away here, or at least blow away. There we go. And so positioning the wind to the south, I'm actually pretty excited about the way this turned out. I had a distinct feeling that this was going to backfire on me. Now, I'm going to reload real fast because I realized that I forgot to do so. And so there we are. We're all slotted up with a new ball and our musket. Let's set up over here, and we're going to see if we can get rid of these werewolves. Now, realistically, I could have fought both of these werewolves and saved the cash on the overall conflict. However, fighting with Jack is very tentative. Sometimes I just don't feel like he's equipped for the battles that we have ahead. We are going to be waiting a little bit here, so I suppose I'm going to do my spiel. Now, I believe we're only going to get one mission done during the course of this. I apologize. I'll probably try and upload a Expeditions Conquistador at the same time so that you guys get a double whammy, because I know you guys sometimes ask me to make longer episodes. Unfortunately, I explained it in the Expeditions videos. There's something that's keeping me from doing that. I actually don't have a hard drive that's big enough for me to render larger videos. And so I have a rendering hard drive, which is really fast and it's really speedy and it gets the job done, but unfortunately, what ends up happening is that it doesn't have much size. It doesn't have much storage because it's, you know, it's kind of expensive to get, you know, speedy hard drives. So unfortunately, I can't fit larger files on it. And so it's one of those things where I could get myself into trouble there. Let's see if we can wipe out the rest of these wolves. And it looks like we didn't rope ourselves a kill. And so we are going to have to, there we go, do as much damage as we can. And I actually am going to end up fighting these buggers, which is a little bit of a letdown. Let me get some health back real fast. And then we're going to take a hit there. But the nice thing about the Taco Knight, as I said, is that we're immune to any damage while we're using it. And so we got ourselves a little $110 there, and we managed to survive the eve. But as I was saying, I'd like to make things a little bit longer, but unfortunately I just don't have the hardware for it. So alas, maybe in the future someday, when this whole thing possibly starts to help me out a little bit with the cost of doing business. But as of right now, as a broke college student, just don't have the cash for it. And so our butcher's bill, we got 585 XP. $2.28, which means we made about 30 cents off that whole ordeal, which is not nearly the amount that I would like to. But we did survive, and in many cases, survival is its own reward. So given the stamp of success here, I'm going to break off the episode because there's absolutely no way we're going to finish another planning phase, especially since this is getting a lot more nasty. It's becoming a lot more difficult to plan these things out, and we are using up a bit more time just kind of rationalizing our choices. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was Sang Froid, a very fun little planning trapping game. I hope you'll choose to check it out, support the developers. If not, I hope you're having fun watching the videos. I'll see you next time, and take care out there, everybody.